What's good? Today we're going to be doing the first high guard video, and in this one we're going to be talking specifically about the characters, and I had some ideas moving forward about what we could do for the game and for the characters and how to shift this game into the right direction, or at least in a more interesting direction, I should say. First off, this is more of a UI change, but I think that changing the UI a little bit wouldn't hurt exactly the game, more of a quality of life thing. So first off, this part right here is pretty clean, pretty simple, pretty smooth, does what it needs to do. But I really want to focus on the character roles that you guys have applied, or that they have applied to the characters. And since we have I think there's like 5 of them, I think. So we got destruction, we got recon, we got assault, we got defense, support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different roles. And I think my idea was, or I think that we should have the UI reflect each character role and categorize each character in the role, whether it be whenever we click on the wardens and each character role is reflected at the top, or down here at the bottom and they're all grouped up under the moniker of their character role. Another idea that I have for the characters is that we actually remove the ultimate powers and we make them second tacticals for each character. So we would take the Frost Giant and make it a second tactical, give it a new cooldown, or keep the same cooldown or make it longer, however you may want to do it, or maybe reduce the damage or reduce how long he's in the stance. The same thing with the daggers. I'm kind of fine with leaving him at 6. We could probably nerf it down to like 4 and have it on like shrink the cooldown a little bit and have her able to do it, but then change the time on the sandstorm maybe, just so it's a little bit more balanced. But I think getting rid of the ultimate powers for each characters and making them tacticals would actually add more to the gameplay structure, add more to the gameplay structure in sense of like fighting for the shield breaker, going out and like engaging with the enemy team, because a lot of these powers are really cool. A lot of these tools are really cool. This one's actually my favorite. Her ultimate's able to like launch 3 smokes, but this is like only an ultimate. Like if this was a tactical ability and I could just do this whenever or almost whenever, this would like change up how the game is played and how like we engage with teams and how we engage with the shield breaker and shutting down certain strategies and plays and cutting off certain rotations. But moving forward, if we do, or if they do remove the ultimate powers, I think having ultimate powers still be in the game as like in-game pickups or in-world pickups at specific POIs that people could like maybe do like challenges for, or do like little puzzles, or like find specific items to unlock a stronghold or something like that, to be able to get the ultimate power to be able to do something, whether that's I had a couple ideas like spawn a catapult and be able to like use it at an enemy base, or be able to use it like whenever you're trying to close off or trying to use it as a choke point, or close off like choke points for enemies pushing your base, or like be able to spawn like undead at the enemy base, or be able to spawn undead anywhere and be able to have them distract or attack the enemies to do what you need to do or make a play. I did hear a lot of sentiment about having some kind of other form of engagement, whether that's adding more players, which I think there could be a mode for that. But I do think having this 3v3 mode, there is something here. But I don't necessarily agree on adding like AI or NPCs in the map that we engage with in combat to like get something with. I think we can do something else in terms of getting loot, in terms of going out and engaging with in the world stuff, and like maybe doing challenges, or looking for items to unlock doors, or doing small puzzles or whatever, or whether that be like maybe going to a POI to maybe get better reinforcements for the base and stuff like that. Like if we go here, we can get like maybe like traps or mines or stuff like that, but I'll talk about that in like another video. I kind of want to focus on the characters. With that out of the way, that kind of focuses on the in-game stuff, but I do want to go in depth on the character role stuff. But it's better for me to do that in the tier list. I kind of have it set up in a way that's more understandable. But as far as it goes, as here in the game, character UI change, let it reflect the character roles categorized, put each character in the respective role and have it be shown in the UI. I think it'd be a good idea to make all ultimates a secondary tactical, have a passive and 2 tacticals, and we pick up ultimates in the world. And I think picking up ultimates in the world could be POIs or be able to be obtained in various different ways how we do that. But I still don't think putting NPCs in the game to engage in combat is a good idea. So that's just my opinion. But let's head over to the tier list. Now, this isn't necessarily like a tier list, but this is like a better way of kind of like showing what I'm trying to talk about. So in terms of the character roles, I thought it would be a good idea because everybody knows, or everybody feels the same way when it comes down to like shooting armor. Nobody likes shooting, dumping tons and tons of bullets, dumping a whole mag and swapping to a second gun and just to finish off an enemy. Nobody likes doing that, whether that's at the beginning of the game or the end of the game. Nobody likes doing that. Early game or late game, nobody likes doing that. So I thought a good idea to lean into the gun skill and being able to strategize movement, positioning, and playing as a team. I thought maybe adding the armor to the character roles and having each character will have a specific armor HP would be a better fit. So if we keep a baseline, because I wasn't able to quite figure out the HP level. I was getting around 100, but it wasn't exactly 100. At least the way I was doing my math, I guess I wasn't doing it right. That's totally fine. But if we keep a baseline of each character, no matter what, has a base health HP of 100%, and then the armor is applied to each character role. Now, I started at a baseline of 50 and went 50, 75, and 100. So there's 3 armor types. Got light, medium, and heavy. And I done it based on kind of like where the player or where the character should be based on what they should be doing in their respective roles. So I tried to be, I know I'm kind of picking from different places to kind of get a number, but if it, like I said, keep a baseline of a health HP of 100, and then we add on the armor, so it'll be 100 health HP and then 50 armor, 100 health HP, 75 armor, 100 health HP, and then an extra 100 armor. So for assaults I have 75, for destructions I have 50, for defense I have 100, for recons I have 75, and for supports I have 50. Now this one down here is blurred out. I want to talk about it a little bit later once we put everybody in their respective roles, and then I'm going to move one character because I think they should be in a different role. So currently, as the game stands, this is how the characters are grouped up based on their roles. Kind of weird how that makes an F. That's sad. I didn't mean to do that, but I didn't mean to do that, but that's just how it came out. However, this is how the game currently puts everybody in their respective roles. I mean, in my opinion, I think this is okay, but I also think really just taking out the armor entirely, like the way the armor system works, off the armor plates and adding it to the respective character roles will be better moving forward in terms of gunfights and engaging with the enemy, so it doesn't really feel like you're always bullet sponging and you always know what you're dealing with in terms of the gunfight. So I know whenever I see this character, I'm dealing with a character with 175 health. If I'm dealing with Kai, I'm dealing with a character with 200 health, so I know how to pick my fights correctly. Now, I did say I was gonna move one character because I think their kit actually fits in a different role, and I think they would also fit better in that role, and that is this guy. I think he should be here in the destruction role because of his abilities and how much he actually can do, and especially if you take his ultimate and make it a tactical, he actually fits better as a destruction character because he can do so much damage. That be it to people or to the base. Now, this right here, I'm gonna unblur it for you guys, but if you guys ever decided to add a medic class, like a full-on medic class, I know we have a support class, but if we actually like did this and redefine like what supports were, in my opinion, you could move her down here to medic and then move her down into support because of her tactical abilities. Especially if you move her ultimate to a tactical ability, it'd actually make her more of a support character than a defensive character, in my opinion. Because this guy being a defensive character, being able to put walls and then turn into an ice giant that has a rise shield makes sense. And then this her being able to spawn these little guys that kind of pretty much basically hold a line and can she basically gives free loot, and on top of that she can have these little guys spawn out and throw little grenades. So like this is more, I feel like this, even though it is defensive, I do feel like it does fit well in the support role, especially if you make a dedicated medic role and you put her down here. Then I think you can make the medics 50 armor HP and then move the supports up to 75. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about outside of this leans kind of more broadly into the game, kind of like a really cool system that's already in the game based on the characters themselves, but it is the magic system, or I'm gonna call it the elemental system, that the characters kind of already have and kind of already showing in a way if you pay a little bit of attention. If we go here, I kind of got it set up like this. So we got fire, we got earth, we got wind and air, we got lightning, we got dark magic in ether, and we got necromancy. And some of these are kind of like, well, at least one of them I'm kind of like, well, no, I'll say two of them. Two of them I'm kind of like just throwing in there. They could probably be moved around in a couple of different areas. But if we were to move these guys in what I would think would be their respective magical role, or magical ability, magical talent, or elemental power. So I think currently with the system that is in the game, with the characters that are in the game, even if we were to add to this, like maybe like another like water down here, if we would add like a water character. But I think with the elemental system that is in place, I think if we were to add this, just like straight hard lean into this and add it straight across the game, you'd probably have like a totally different beast, right? And I mean like to the weapon system, to the armor plate system. So like if we were to take the armor system, do what we said here, and then come back here and then mess with the armor plates then. So now they're like elemental plates, so we can have you can have whatever you want to add within there. You don't have to add like 5 different distinct plates, but maybe we could have like, you know, maybe like a fire plate, armor plate, a wind and air armor plate, a dark magic ether armor plate, something like that. And then we could have like the same with like, you have an earth paladin or like a necromancy ranger or something like that, and they have different buffs and debuffs or whatever, and maybe even passives with like the armors, like a fire armor plate or like a wind and air. I had an idea for like the air armor, like maybe if you were to like break an air armor, if someone had air armor and you were to break their shields or whatever, or take their armor out, or if maybe like if you were to like kill them, it would spawn like a smoke. And even if you were to take this and then lean into it even more and allow each character to have a secondary passive based on their elemental character, then you could have like wind and air characters be able to like hover like maybe like in a Titanfall or something like that. Maybe like a lightning character could like recharge his shields faster. But I think if we lean hard into the system that we that's already in the game, I think we're dealing with a really cool hero shooter, especially like you guys said, it's supposed to be like a magical fantasy thing. So if we lean into this, I think we have something. Now it would be kind of cool if you could add magical weapons, that'd be dope. Or if like I would have preferred this, y'all have each character have their own weapon and weapon type. That'd be hella cool, but we've already went with the weapon system that's in place. I do have ideas about that as well, but this is about the characters, and that's pretty much it. The armor system, like I said, if we were to like move these characters around, like these characters are like respectively up here, this, you know, she's up here and she's here, but like if you guys were, like I said, to add a medic, you know what I'm saying, you can move it down here, just, you know, come to support. This guy I think she should be down here in my opinion. But if we were to add this armor system, maybe this is something we could work with, you know, so maybe like, I don't know, I think this is a really good idea. I don't think it should be crazy, because I think keeping it relatively low leans into the whole gun skill part of the game, and it allows not only movement to be important, but it allows aim to also be important. So there's like a trade-off. Someone with good movement better have good aim, because someone with good aim doesn't relatively have to have good movement. I just have to have good aim, right? But I think if this is, if we were to move forward, I think this would be a really cool system as well on top of this. But that's all for this video. I just wanted to talk about the characters. I'll try to quickly make another video about the gameplay loop, because I do have a couple more ideas, especially talking about this system in play, especially if this system was to be added to the gameplay loop, and some ideas around that. But that's all for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your idea. Let me know if this actually sparked your interest at all. Let me see what you think about this. Am I hitting it? Am I missing it? Let me know if I'm right or wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Just let me know if I'm right, because I'm here to, you know, understand what I don't, see what I can't. I'll see y'all next time.